And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. Got a great one lined up for you today. I'm going to show you how the people at the top are always trying to make you doubt yourself. The people at the top, BlackRock, whatever it might be, any of them, all of them, their whole goal is to keep you broke. Like this platform we're on. This platform that we're on right now, its main goal is to make sure my show shuts off every 15 minutes if I start digging in real deep. This platform is trying to make sure you never see my videos. None of this stuff. They're part of it. The reason my show gets jammed up for the past 5 years is because I'm part of the solution, not the problem. If you see a program and there's all kinds of dumb shit on it and they grow like crazy, that's what the people at the top want. Distractions. They want you distracted. They don't want you to know the truth. They want to make it tough. When you watch my show, they want to make it as tough. They don't want you to get notified. None of this stuff. We're going to get into today how the people at the top, and I'm going to show you a very classic case of tokenization. When you take a real world asset and put it into crypto form, that's how everything's going to be in the future. Everything will be tokenized. And what this particular company is trying to do is make you dumb so you don't understand what's going on. And I'm going to show you, and you're going to look at this company and be like, why are they saying that? Why are they saying, why is the biggest tokenization company, why are they telling you, tokenization is not a big deal? There's a reason. And I'm going to show you today. That's going to be the first article we go over. And you'd be like, wow, Crypto Hulk, they're just straight up lying to us. Yeah, that's how it goes. Just like BlackRock, right? Larry Fink, that runs BlackRock, just talked down about Bitcoin from day one while he was buying it. Oh. And then when he's done buying it, he makes it look like, well, looks like everybody wants to buy it. So, okay, we'll start selling it. And I'm like, wow, you were putting down Bitcoin, and Jamie Dimon was doing the same thing. Jamie Dimon and Larry Fink guy were saying all kinds of bad stuff about cryptocurrency from the beginning. Now we're going to see if BlackRock, we're going to see if Goldman Sachs and stuff starts selling Bitcoin and so forth. But I just wanted to show you today and let you know that's how they do it. Same thing, XDC. They're trying to put out, XDC. No one's going to use that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wow. If you watch the Crypto Hulk Show, you're going to see all the evidence. And they're going to have, the other side's going to have their evidence or whatever. What you have to do is go with common sense. When they're putting down, when Larry Fink, the CEO, the guy that's running the biggest investment corporation in the world, okay, says all kinds of bad shit about crypto for all these years, and now all of a sudden says, this is going to be a big deal, maybe. I think I'll start selling it because people want it. It's just, that's what they do. I want you to just see these things. I just want you to watch my program. I'm going to show you articles. I don't care what they say. They're going to make moves. They're going to make moves to try to get you out of the good crypto so it can go up to $1,000 a piece, and then they want you to buy it from them. See how all this works? That's why this channel's super heavily shadow banned, because I don't go with that dumb shit. That's why I'll find you cryptos, like, different ones, and we get in early on them. we're in early, and then about 2-3 months later, everybody else starts talking about it. And by then, if you watched the Crypto Hulk show, you've already got your crypto at 0.0006 cents and you're ready to go. And about 3 months later, then it starts hitting the internet. Like with all this Zebex stuff, man, we were talking about that 3 months ago. We all bought it. Like months ago. The ZK thing, ZK Sync thing, we got that months ago. The Weekend, we got that months ago. Really Tech, we got that month. Everything on this show is always months in advance. Well, Crypto Hulk, it's not going up right now. You just told me to invest in it. I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking serious? You're that fucking stupid. I'm selling it off, Crypto Hulk. I invested in this, and a week later, I'm still not popping bottles with models on my yacht. Crypto Hulk, how is that possible? I'm like, you know what's possible? You need to get the fuck off this channel. That's what's possible. All right, Daniel Tennant, welcome to the entry-level membership program. Appreciate that greatly. Let me start right off. My name is Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. I don't know anything about crypto. No. I know absolutely nothing at all. Any kind of financial advice I get.
I see you over there. Yes, you. Come on over and let Zoltar be sharing with you your fortune.
Every kind of financial advice I get is from Zoltar. I'm just letting you know. So before every show, I take the top off of Zoltar. Here's your real financial advisor, Zoltar. Okay. Get rid of the shadow right there. This guy in his gold chain. See, he's got a gold chain. Let me try to adjust his. There it is. He got his gold chain. There he is. Zoltar. So me and Zoltar, what I'll do is I'll take the top off of his little case and I'll give him, like me and him hang out, we do drugs right before a show. Heroin, cocaine, methamphetamines, ketamine. I'm just, whatever kind of drugs we can find. We have pill popping parties before a show. We don't care what the pills are. We just pop all kinds of different stuff. And that's what I do before every show. That's what I've done before every show I've ever made. Anything, cold plunging, just random, whatever. It's always, I'm super fucking high. That's just how it goes. Lastly, before every show, what I want you to do is get into the top chat, make a comment. After the show, make a comment. We got to show interaction. This is very important. The reason I need your help is because my show right now is getting about 620,000 views per month. Normally, I get about 1.3 million. So YT has decided to play games, block people from seeing my channel, and these kinds of things. So what I want you to do is to interact with the channel. That helps my algo, and I can't say rhythm. Like every show to your favorites. Save every show to your favorites. Make a playlist of 8 videos and play it each day. Let it play each day. Now, of course, you're going to sit there for 8 hours and listen to the videos. Now, if the phone call rings, use this, your keyboard, and then hit the volume or the mute button only when a phone call rings. Because if you use the YT, your cursor, and put it over to silence, YT knows you're manipulating the algo, and they notify me, hey, this person, YT does this. Because it doesn't know if it's a fake account or not, because people that have a playlist going that have it on mute, that's no good. So use your keyboard if you have to answer a telephone, and then hit the mute button on your keyboard, not on the YT app or the phone app or whatever on your computer. Don't do that. All righty. I'd appreciate that. It would help my channel viewership, considering YT cut out about 55 to 60% of my viewers. What I try to do is provide a free program And if you're taking advantage of that, I'd appreciate you doing all those things to help the channel. Let me continue with this program. Man, it's good stuff. I got the Ghost drink. I bought orange cream. Really good stuff. First 5 people of the show be Crypto She-Hulk, Mark, 552 Man, Team JPX, and Thomas. Let me scroll through here. Michelle shows up, says, hello, Hulkster. And Crypto Greek is here. Yes, Memorial Day. Today is Memorial Day in the United States. So what I tend to do, you know, you have National Armed Forces Day. Then you have Veterans Day for the people that get out. And some people in our United States military got out a different way, and that's by exchanging their life. So they were in some kind of a situation where they got hurt and lost their life for the United States of America. And today's a day, you know, look, I don't do anything like on the 4th of July. For me, actually, it's a sad day. You know, I've been in I've been in about 3 to 4 hostile situations when I was in the military, where I was shot at and so forth. And it's nothing like stuff you see on, you know, the internet where these guys are really in firefights and shit. I'm not gonna. My situations were nowhere near that. Nonetheless, I could have got shot and killed, but it wasn't like I'm some kind of fucking war hero or some shit like that. There's guys that really are war heroes, guys and gals that in different situations lost their life trying to protect the United States. And then there's, I'll kind of keep it. I think, I'll tell you what, anybody, whether you're in the armed services or not, anybody on the planet, in my opinion, if you gave your life trying to help America, then that today is your day for us to remember, and the names, and even the names we don't know, and the sacrifices people that made. Like for me on 4th of July, I don't do all the partying, and because it's a day where people lost their lives for my country. So I don't go to the lake and I don't do the barbecue. And I'm not saying I want you to not do that. That's just me. I'm a different breed or whatever. I want you to do stuff. If maybe that person gave their life so you can have time to have fun, but remember the people that died and thank them. Hey, I'm going to an awesome barbecue. I'm going to see friends and we're going to party and have fun. I'm thankful that veterans, some of them died so that I have the right to do this. If that's your attitude, then great. Okay. That's what veterans do, is they risk their life for 4 years, 20 years, whatever, and they retire, but some of them don't make it. And today's one of those days. It has deep meaning for me. And, and I'm grateful that I didn't have to get shot, maybe get shot and still live with a disability the rest of my life. That would suck. But there's people that have done that. But today it's in America, it's those that gave their life for the country. And to me, that has tremendous meaning. And that's why I can't do shit on like Memorial Day or Veteran 4th of July and shit. I just can't. I'm just not in the mood because it's sad for me. So, all right. With that, let's get on. Let's talk about how we're going to get rich. So I just wanted to go through those comments here, and we're going to start off. We're going to start off with Securitize. We're going to start off with some dumb shit that works at Securitize trying to tell the rest of us, oh, crypto tokenization is not a big deal. These are the people that are trying to trick you. Here is your article right here. Okay, crypto leaders are wrong. So this is from Cointelegraph. Cointelegraph. The title is Crypto Leaders Are Wrong About Tokenized Property. Crypto leaders underestimate the true potential of real estate tokenization. I've seen this before. Look, they are trying to get all of us to get into crypto. And by doing that, you have to do different things, either register here and get a wallet here, hardware crypto wallet. They're trying to do all these things and downplay. You've seen, like with stablecoins. Oh, in 2030, okay, like right now, if you want to call it crypto market is like $3.5 trillion something. Okay, what they try to do is say, oh, in 2030. Crypto is only going to be about 5 trillion. They do that all the time. Ripple does it. They're not going to tell you how big this is actually going to get. They try to take a $3.5 trillion crypto market, as some people call it. We don't even have a crypto market, but that's what they call it. It's $3.5 trillion. And they try to tell you, oh, yeah, the stablecoin market in 2030, so 5 years from now, yeah, it's going to be like $200 billion. And you're just like, boring. They're not telling you. Look, nobody's really using crypto. So whatever the market is now, you can't, let's say 1% of the people actually have crypto and they're really using it or whatever. You could easily multiply whatever we got now by 100. So you'll hear some people saying, oh, the crypto market in 5 years might be like $10 trillion. No, I think it's going to be like 300 trillion. But you'll hear it all the time. Even on other crypto channels, it's funny. Like they have no fucking clue. Whatever numbers you got now, consider about 1% of the people are like, look, what percentage of the population is like you and me? And actually, there'll be like 1%. Okay. Yeah, some people dabble. They got, $500 or 1,000 and some crypto, and they don't watch any crypto shows or none of that kind of thing. My thing is, again, whatever numbers they got in crypto, multiply that by 100 times. And that's not even going to be it, because you haven't had institutional money pile in. Think of it like this. In 5 years from now, the crypto market cap, if you want to call it that, and that's a fucked up term, but most people understand crypto market cap. So that's why I'm using that term. But 5 years from now, the crypto space as we know it today won't be 3.5 trillion. I'm saying it could likely be 300 trillion. Oh, man. Because look, I'll tell you, 1% of the population is like us. No one's watching these shows. I've got 3 months worth of pay, maybe now 4 months worth of pay into crypto. How many households have that? Ask the average guy, hey, and he makes what, 5, 6, 7, 8,000 a month. You got $32,000. Did you invest $32,000 in crypto? You ask your average person, that would be like, no. Now, I don't know how many of you have 4 months worth of pay in crypto. How many of you have 4 months worth of pay in crypto? Somebody answer. Okay, 35,000 invested. Okay. That's a good chunk of change. That's about the average paycheck of a man in America with dollars is about, I don't know, $4,000 to $8,000. So anywhere from 24 to 32,000 bucks. AJ's got a whole year's worth of pay. That's pretty good. $42K. I've got 5 years of pay into crypto. Oh shit. $65K. Oh man. 2 years. Dang, that's crazy. Somebody's 18 and they got 4,000 bucks. So that's about 1 month's worth of pay. 2 years? Holy shit, you guys are like going deep. 4 years? Bobby? Okay, closer to... Okay, so we got a lot of people with years. Man, I'm just not going to say anything. Okay, got over 6 figures. Oh, nice. All right, 4 to 5 months. Average pay 47 to 52. Yeah, somewhere around there. It just depends. About 6 months. I have 1 year, the average salary in it. Not bad. See, that's what I'm saying. You guys are not that 1%. I mean, we are the 1%. Everybody else, they don't have anything. They got like 500 bucks or 1,000, you know. So the reason when these guys from Securitize, I'm going to get back to this article. The leader of Securitize, the guy who's the chief operating officer, let's read what he says here. During the Paris Blockchain Week, Securitize. Now, what is Securitize? They tokenize real world assets. They work for BlackRock. You know, BlackRock has that BUIDL account, BUIDL. And right now, I think it started off at 80 million. I'm going to show you the article here in a minute. BlackRock's BUIDL started at 80 million. I think now it's worth 300 billion or something. Some crazy amount. Let me go over this. During Paris Blockchain Week, Securitize Chief Operating Officer Michael Sonasum made headlines by dismissing. He dismissed real estate as a suboptimal asset class for tokenization. He's like putting it down like, yeah, you know, real estate tokenization, it's a good idea, but it's really not that big of a thing. Why are they doing that? Because they don't want you in yet. They want you to wait and to wait and to wait. And then I really think very well there could be a flip of the switch moment. And then all these cryptos go to 1,000, 5,000 bucks a piece. And then, you know what? That Michael Sonenson is like, yeah, now's the time to get into real estate. When you should have been getting in like right now with crypto. That's why I'm teaching all this stuff. Michael Sonenson. I was going to call him Michael because I can't say his last name. Sunshine. I'm going to call him Michael Sunshine. That's what I'm going to call him. Michael Sunshine made headlines dismissing real estate as a suboptimal asset for tokenization. This isn't the first time crypto leaders have underestimated the merits of bringing real estate on chain, and it is likely not the last. While I respect Michael Sunshine's contributions to the digital asset adoption, his assessment misses fundamental points about real estate tokenization's transformative potential. What we have going here is a classic case of Larry Fink, BlackRock, Michael Sunshine of Securitize. What they do is they bring out the news that you can't hide certain things in the news. So what you have to do is give people the news without giving them the news. That's exactly what we got going. They downplay, yeah, we're tokenizing, but it's just not a big deal. And yeah, BlackRock is tokenizing, but we're just at the early stages, and it's just really hard to say how big this gets. So they bring you the news without bringing you the news. And what is the news? This is going to be fucking enormous, okay? Enormous. But how does Michael Sunshine bring it? Yeah, we're tokenizing here at Securitize, and yeah, we're working with Ripple, and it's they're a small company, and that's all they're doing. They're very dismissive. When Michael Sunshine gives news, he's just very dismissive. So he doesn't want you to go out and get these cryptos. He's trying to play it off like, maybe it'll be big in the future, maybe not. I just don't know. That's all he's doing. I'm like, wow, this dude is so fucking stupid. Here's what Cointelegraph says in the second paragraph. Real estate represents what? The largest asset class. Real estate is the largest asset class. Now, Michael Sunshine wants to be like, yeah, it's, I'm telling you, man, you got to watch out for these people. When industry leaders claim that this massive market isn't suitable for tokenization, they overlook today's transformative infrastructure and core value proposition. That's what Michael Sunshine is doing. When industry leaders claim that this massive market isn't suitable, he's doing the exact same thing as that. He's trying to make it seem like it's not a big deal. This tokenization. Look, I'm showing you it is a big fucking deal. And they are setting up, they are releasing crypto, but they don't want you in right now. Look, I don't know the reasons for all these things. They don't want you in now while it's cheap. They want you to wait till it's super fucking expensive. Then they want you to get in. Maybe Securitize likes to be the first one there and doesn't want anybody else tokenizing shit except them. Oh. So maybe what Michael Sunshine is doing is he doesn't want other companies to get into the crypto tokenization business because he likes being on top. Now, that makes sense, Crypto Hulk. Yeah, definitely does. Let's take a little look here. Securitize is a Ripple partner. Let me do a copy paste. Right there. Here's the title of this one. Ripple-backed Securitize, there you go, raises $14 million from Santander and Mitsubishi. So we've got Ripple investing money into Securitize. You know Ripple is investing technology, and you got the Ripple partners all involved in this, Santander, Mitsubishi Bank, Coinbase is mixed up. I think they're just trying to keep people out, and they're trying to stop any competition. Here's Securitize right here, working with BlackRock. Here's your evidence for that. So Securitize is they're in partnership with Ripple. And Securitize, in this article here, look at the first sentence. Securitize announces $45 million strategic fund led by BlackRock. Oh, you've got Securitize. Johnny Sunshine, we'll call him Johnny Sunshine. downplaying tokenization while he's taken millions of dollars from BlackRock, the world's biggest investment company. Johnny Sunshine's, yeah, this tokenization, it's not a big deal. You know, we're still at the early stages. Yet he's working with BlackRock. See, I got this little meter right here.
Attention, the bullshit meter has detected major BS. Confirmed, that's definitely some bullshit.
Am I right? Am I right? So you got this guy who's a CEO of a tokenization company. He's only working with the biggest investment company in the world. And he's like, real estate tokenization. It's not that big of a deal, everybody. Oh my God. I had to set off the Crypto Hulk bullshit meter on that one. Let me take a look. Now, let's look at BlackRock, how little this is. If somebody could type in, I need somebody to assist on this, type in what is the total value of BlackRock's BUIDL, which is BUIDL. What is the total value of BlackRock's BUIDL fund right now? Somebody look that up. How are we in the hundreds of billions? Somebody look that up. Because I know I'm going to show you an article they started with. Let me show you the article. BlackRock started with 95 million. Okay. I'm going to show you how Johnny Sunshine from Securitize, the CEO, is a fucking liar. 7 billion? What? Are you serious? $7 fucking billion? Whoa. Stu Lavelle says 3. Well, if we split the two, it's around 5. $2.3 billion. Not sure if that's builds only. Okay, I'm going to use Google AI. Okay, about 3 billion, according to Google AI. So here we have an article. They started off with $95 million. This article is about a year old. I'm looking at March 2024 on CoinDesk. So March, it's about a year ago. They had $95 million in this BUIDL fund. Now let's do the math. 100 million. So how do you get to $1 billion? Times that by 10, and then that's 1 times 3. So we're looking at 30x in 1 year. So what we got going is we have now 30x is massive when you're dealing with $100 million. I mean, look, you could have a business and you start off selling ice cream cones and you make $10 a day, and then you're selling ice cream cones, you're making $30 a day. That's that's not so you're making $300. You go from selling ice cream cones at $10, and now you're making $300 a day. That's good, you know. But when we're talking about 95 million and then increasing your business to $3 billion, your fund just went up 30x and it's worth $3 billion. That's fucking crazy town, right? the guy that's running Securitize is trying to play it off like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'm just like, wow, here's your evidence right there. So there's BlackRock working with a crypto called Ondo. Now, Ondo, to get this work done, needs a crypto called Axelar to act as a bridge so it can connect to other blockchains and communicate. And other blockchains and other cryptos, they perform different functions. So there's your Axelar connection. Now, lastly, Axelar is working with Ripple. So basically, Ripple is helping BlackRock get shit done. Now, if you notice what we got going on here, is you got Securitize helping BlackRock to tokenize their use, but then again, you've got Ripple as a partner of Securitize. So Ripple's helping Securitize help BlackRock with that end of it. And then you've got Ondo utilizing Axelar, which is Ripple. So basically, Ripple's doing this whole fucking thing by itself. Well, I'm joking, but are you seeing this here? Ripple is all up in this whole fucking shit, from the tokenization part, helping Securitize, to being a bridge to helping the crypto do what it's got to do. It's helping on both ends. And you got Securitize, the CEO, acting like he don't know how this is going to go, and he doesn't know how big it is. Like, so that article is done. I just wanted to show you when we start getting near, when things start getting real. I want to show you guys, when things start getting real, they're going to start acting real stupid. They don't know. They don't have any idea. Then all of a sudden, bam, like that, these cryptos take off and everybody acts shocked. That's how it works. Don't believe the FUD. People are going to start putting down, oh, they're not going to use XDC. Yeah, we're going to use this other platform. And no, they're not. They always start off with the dumb shit on purpose as a distraction. It was Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then when they finally could not do the Ethereum anymore, because everybody knows, the reason Bitcoin is protected is because it has no real world use case. So it can stand there and just look like a model. Okay. Like a model, as long as a model shuts up, you don't know how fucking stupid they are. When you have to start having a use case, so Ethereum comes in with the use case, and then people start realizing, wait, this shit don't work. That's why Ethereum's having problems. Because for all these years, it didn't have to do anything. We didn't really have any use case in crypto in the world because the Democrats shut all that shit down. But then we start needing to have a use case, and, well, Ethereum just don't work. So that's why the cracks in the armor are starting to show up with Ethereum. People are realizing, hey, wait a second, this shit doesn't work. We need to have Solana. So then they pump up Solana. Yeah, Solana, Bitcoin and Solana. Ethereum's kind of left there as that stepchild that nobody wants to talk about. That adoptive child that nobody wants to really talk about. You know, that's how that works. Next, let's see what we got going on here. The Philippines. Wait, let's do this. Chainlink. Let's talk about Chainlink real quick. Chainlink is in the news because it's number one. Let's look right here at Chainlink. I'm not going to buy it. I think Chainlink's already like $15 or 20. I can't tell you not to buy it, but decentralized Oracle network Chainlink continues to top real-world asset sector in recent development activity. The decentralized Oracle network Chainlink continues to dominate crypto real-world assets. So Chainlink is dominating. Now, this is from the Daily Hodl. It's a web news service for crypto that I think is pretty reputable. So if they're calling Chainlink dominating, then I haven't checked the numbers. I'd have to look stuff up and research. I personally don't care. I know that Ripple made partners with Chainlink, so it's good enough for me. Santiment is the company that looked into this. Santiment notes in a new post on the social media platform X that Chainlink registered 532 notable GitHub events in the past 30 days. The figure far exceeds the second-ranked real-world asset project provider, Layer 1 blockchain Avalanche. So according to Santiment, they looked at GitHub, and on GitHub, Avalanche had 290 projects in a 30-day period. 290 versus 532 on Chainlink. So it's very clear. Chainlink's a Ripple partner. Just saying, I'm sure that has nothing to do with this, right? So Avalanche, and then now Stellar XLM was third, 240. Now, what I find interesting is we're not talking about ZK Sync here. And I don't know if, because they're into tokenizing. Let's take a look. Santiment notes. Now, I know that Stellar with real-world asset tokenization, where Ethereum's involved, they're number one. ZK Sync's 2. Stellar's number 3. And then I think Solana was like 4 or 5. On this one, it looks like Stellar is still number 3 on this list, too. That's kind of interesting. Santiment notes that it doesn't count routine updates. The analytics firm has previously said that heavy development activity centered around a crypto project is a positive indication that could mean that the developers believe the protocol will be successful. Chainlink's at about $16 right now for each. I'll leave that article there. I'll show you this one last window here, this page. It's a Ripple page showing that they're partners. This is what I truly believe why Chainlink is that successful, is they got Ripple as their partner. So it means it's interoperable. There's your article right there. I just posted it. As of January 2025, Ripple adopts Chainlink. Ripple is now leveraging the Chainlink standard. So there you have that. I'm sure that helps. Let's click on that one and that one. Okay, now let's look into this. You've got the world's biggest bank. Let me send you this article first. You've got JP Morgan, the world's most systemically important bank. This article here is pretty interesting. Major U.S. banks consider joining stablecoin venture. You got JP Morgan, B of A, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo. And they have held discussions on potentially launching a stablecoin. All four of those banks, just like right now where you have Zelle, okay, they're all using Zelle payment. Now they're thinking about those four banks sharing a stable coin. If not, maybe their own. That will improve transaction speeds while managing competition from encroaching crypto firms. The Wall Street Journal reported that the banks are in early stages of talks. Payment platforms owned by the banking giants, such as the Clearinghouse and Zelle, are also being considered in the conversation. The idea of opening the stablecoin model to banks outside the group are also being explored. Now let's go a little bit deeper on this. You have something called the Clearinghouse. Let me show you this. Now, there's a couple ways this could go down. Let me share with you Wikipedia. For those of you that don't know, I want you to learn about really quick, what is the Clearinghouse? Because these banks, they all, look, when you get to the top of the banking empire, you don't want to have to fight and waste all this money on competition, right? So it's kind of like a cartel. Let me show you this article. So right here you have what's called the Clearinghouse. Let me explain to you what it is first. The Clearinghouse. And welcome back to the Hulk Show. I had to log back in. It looks like YouTube shut off the channel. Ridiculous. Right over the target. When I said all these banks are forming a cartel, and then they didn't, YouTube doesn't like that. So what we got going is something called the Clearinghouse, which is a monopoly. What the Clearinghouse is they control payments. They partner up and they have their own little posse, and they have their own, they basically push around everybody else. Look, you got 20. These banks here run the country. So if they're not using crypto, nobody's using crypto. That's how all this works. Now we got Ripple partners in these, so it's going to happen. But I wanted to show you the Clearinghouse because all your Zelle and your ACH, that's what it is, the Clearinghouse. Now Ripple, let's look here. Frozen again? No. So there's your first one. Now let's look here. JP Morgan, they're a Ripple partner. They're utilizing Ripple technology. I want to show you the connections to not all 20. This article here, JP Morgan joins forces with Ripple in the United Arab Emirates. Okay, that one. I did a Google AI search. I asked, is Bank of America a Ripple partner? Yes, Bank of America is a partner of Ripple, specifically as a member of RippleNet, Ripple's global network. And if you look on Ripple's page, it'll show Bank of America. So now we got two massive banks as Ripple partners. Citibank, we're going to talk about next. I'm trying to show you what I think might happen with crypto and banks. This article right here, Citibank, this is in 2021, 4 years ago. Volante is a Ripple partner, and they're working with Citibank for ISO 20022. Right there. Look, as good as Ethereum is, or whatever, it's not ISO. So it's not going to be involved in the payments world, okay? They may be testing it now and using Ethereum, but when push comes to shove, the crypto they have to run on, it's got to be an ISO type crypto, and that's not Ethereum. So here's evidence for Volante working with Ripple, Citibank. Now, here is your actual Volante page showing that they're partners with Ripple and Swift. Right here, offering the widest variety of cross-border services. Talks about Swift, Ripple, Visa, MasterCard. I don't see Ethereum in there, okay? I don't see Bitcoin in there. So this is a Volante page right there. Next, Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is a major institution that is with the clearinghouse, and they have something called RTP, real-time payment. So if you do a Google search and type in Wells Fargo and then put a plus sign and then type in the clearinghouse, then you'll see right here, the clearinghouse has something called RTP, real-time payments. And Ripple is involved in this clearinghouse, not Ethereum, not Bitcoin. If you look at this article right here, I've shown it before. This article is 5 years old. Ripple partner FIS teams up with the clearinghouse. So that's just what we talked about. The clearinghouse is a conglomeration of 20 banks, and these 20 banks have their own payment system called ACH. Some of you might have heard the name Zelle, but it's the same payment system, but different banks might use different names for whatever kind of program they have. So, and we'll get into this in a minute here. So there's your partnering with FIS. Now, what is FIS? We know what the clearinghouse is. It's a group of 20 banks that have their own payment system pretty much. And they kind of, let's say, work together. Now, let's look right there at this article. We got that one. Here is FIS. If you look on Wikipedia here for FIS, did I send the right one? Yeah, okay, FIS. What is FIS? Look at the second paragraph. FIS became the largest processing and payments company in the world. That is a Ripple partner. And FIS is teamed up with the clearinghouse. See, FIS is the world's biggest payment processing company in the world. It's bigger than the clearinghouse. FIS, let me repeat it again. Ripple partner FIS is the biggest payment processor in the entire world. They joined up with the clearinghouse. So now those 20 banks are more than likely utilizing FIS for payments, okay? Now, why is that important? Now, look down on FIS. Look down to where it says mergers, acquisitions, and divestments. Look down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 from the bottom. You'll see a company called WorldPay. FIS owns WorldPay. FIS uses WorldPay's technology to process payments, okay? Now, what's so big about WorldPay that we have to know? WorldPay is using a Ripple patent. That's why you need to know about WorldPay. Right there. The article says WorldPay patent highlights Ripple's role in blockchain-based settlement. They're already using crypto. Let me repeat this again. WorldPay has a patent utilizing Ripple technology for what? Crypto-based settlement. Does that make more sense when I switch it from blockchain to crypto? It kind of just pulls your fat ears out, right? WorldPay. Now, I'm going to wrap this up right now. I'm going to wrap it up really pretty like a Christmas present that you never got. WorldPay is a company that has a Ripple patent, and they use crypto to process transactions. Got it? Now, WorldPay is owned by FIS, Fidelity Information System. Fidelity Information System is the world's largest payment processor. They just happen to be a partner of Ripple, who is, WorldPay is using Ripple technology to process payments because of WorldPay. They're using Ripple's patent. So Ripple's a partner of this company that owns a company that's using Ripple technology. Now, these 20 banks are joined up with Fidelity, the world's largest payment processor in the world that's using Ripple crypto technology to process payments. Now, to get back to the original title of the article, and we're done with this crypto, is you've got these 4 or 5 banks that belong to a clearinghouse, which is owned by 20 banks, and they're talking about a stablecoin. What stablecoin do you think they're going to use? Well, it's very obvious. It's going to be a Ripple-based platform crypto, in my opinion. I think it, now here's where I'm guessing. I'm telling you, if they're going to make a crypto, it's going to be on the Ripple Labs US dollar. And I would say that because they need a stable coin, and that's what the Ripple Labs US dollar is. Now, we also know that the World Bank, Matthew Boyd, hold on a second here. Matthew Boyd, I watch you every day. I've made a lot of money off your information. Dude pissed me off yesterday when he told you to hurry up. You do such a good job of breaking down in detail. They should be more appreciative. Thank you. Right. Look, it's an open channel, and you're going to get people all over. So they're going to watch these dumb shit channels, and then they come to this channel thinking it's the same, and then they get checked and kicked out. So that's the difference. I just can't have some fucking loser on this channel. I got to kick them off. And you don't see that on any other channel except mine. I'll kick a person out whether they pay or not. They're fucking done, you know? So you've got the Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Citibank, Bank of America thinking about making a crypto stablecoin. It's going to be the Ripple Labs US dollar, because those 4 are already in the clearinghouse with 20 other banks. That clearinghouse is already utilizing Fidelity Information System, WorldPay, Ripple patent. So they're already using Ripple blockchain crypto to process payments already. That's why they're joined up with WorldPay. Because they're already using that technology. And the FIS, they're already mixed up with FIS. And then you got World Pay right there. So there you go. So those 4 banks, they're going to use that Ripple Labs stablecoin. That's what I would say. Now, they can create their own. They don't have to call up Ripple and say, hey, Ripple, we need your help. They can do it themselves, but they're probably going to outsource it. So they probably will secretly call up Ripple and have unofficially Ripple, because look, banks can hire their own IT people to do this. They can do it. That's fine. They don't need to have Ripple. And they can design their own little clearinghouse, and maybe all 20 banks use this particular stable coin, or maybe just those 4 banks we read. I don't know how it's going to go down like that, but I wanted to show you the nuts and bolts and how on how probably it will go down. That would be my guess on how it happens. Either those 4 banks form their own stablecoin, which is the Ripple Labs USD, or that whole clearinghouse with the 20 banks, they have their own set. They have their own stablecoin. And if you bank with any of those 20 banks, they'll accept each other's stablecoin. That would make more sense. I don't think it's just those 4 banks. Maybe it starts off with just those 4. Now, maybe they get greedy and say, fuck the rest of the clearinghouse. Maybe. That could happen. I'm not a fortune teller like Zoltar. Zoltar right here.
I see you over there. Yes, you. Come on over and let Zoltar be sharing with you your fortune.
Your fortune. I got to ask Zoltar on that to double check. I kind of went out on a limb. I got to consult with my business partner here before I officially say that. But that's how I think it's going down. The whole clearinghouse, all 20 members, they're going to have a joint stable coin. But then again, they could get greedy, those 4 banks, and just make their own. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But we know what technology they're going to use. It's not going to be Tether. I don't see it being Circle at all. It's the Ripple Labs stablecoin. All right, Stephen Morris. Thank you very much for the tax-free donation. Maxine and Hulk Getaway Fund. Oh my God, dude, stop. Right meow. So there you have it. Does WorldCoin have any good use case? Says Lester. Has anyone invested in it? WorldCoin. I went over WorldCoin. It started off as World Dollar. This is they're Ripple partners from day one. WorldCoin, World Dollar is how it originally started. It started off trying to be like the world's crypto. I wouldn't invest in it. It started off. I've done the article. You can probably find it if you type in Crypto Hulk, put a plus sign, and type in World Dollar. But I'll just give you the short version. They were really intent on replacing the world's money. They had some big ideas with World Dollar. The project kind of fizzled out. Sam Altman comes in. He's always been mixed up with Ripple. And he gets the project going, and then they use the iScan thing and all that. I don't see it having any business use. I don't see it linking up with other companies, and I personally wouldn't buy it. Hey, if they hooked up with BlackRock tomorrow, that would be a good indicator, but they're not hooked up with anybody. I don't know anything about their developers. I never see WorldCoin in the news, except when they started doing all that iScan shit 2 years ago or something. But other than that, I don't see it in the news. I can't tell you. I wouldn't buy it personally. But okay. World's Dollar sounds like the Phoenix failed. Yeah, it was a project where they talked about how bad the banking system was and how we have to get rid of the traditional banking. That's not a good thing. When you start talking about that, you're going to have the banks trying to stab you in the back. Maybe it was good in a concept back in 2014 when I was showing you the article a few years ago, but it just never really took off and it kind of just fizzled out. But they're on the XRP ledger. I mean, I have the Ripple 2013, Ripple 2014 customer list, and World Dollar's there. And you can go through it and look at it all. I've looked at it already, and they were there right from day one with Ripple as a Ripple customer. I guess Ripple had high hopes for them, but now just strictly on the evidence. Maybe there's secret shit I don't know about, but strictly on the evidence, I don't see WorldCoin doing anything at all worth anything newsworthy. So now maybe they're doing all the secret dark pools and secret investment. I don't know. But from the news, I never see the news for 5 years, except that iScan shit that was popular. That's it. So anyhow, the World Bank, Yeah, what about the World Bank? They're calling XRP. The World Bank calls, let me show you that article real quick. I don't happen. The World Bank. Okay. I'll just use this article here. I can't find the other article. It's almost like it disappeared. So maybe they wanted it to disappear. But the World Bank at one point classified XRP as a stable coin. So this is why it was interesting to me when Ripple came out with the Ripple Labs USD stablecoin. I was like, well, the World Bank already called XRP a stablecoin. Why would Ripple come out with a stablecoin? So that's why all this has thrown me off, and I still don't quite completely understand. But this article right here, the title is World Bank classifies XRP as a stablecoin. It's February 2024. So I did a research paper. You can click on this link. I'll send you the link right now. But I always thought that was interesting because I didn't know that. Look, everything, any kind of good crypto in the future will be a stable coin. Why? Because it'll be backed. If you have a crypto that's backed by anything, it's stable, so stable coin. So there's the article right there, the PDF, the actual report of the World Bank calling Ripple a stable coin. So I wasn't going to get into it, but since you asked, there it is right there. Okay, that's the rundown on those four banks. And I pretty much believe that the Ripple Labs stablecoin is what they're going to use and build on. It's not going to be anything else. See, Ripple has the XRP for high value money, right? So we all kind of know that the small and mid-size, that's not Ripple's target, right? But that's where Ripple stablecoin comes in. Now, one of the things I found interesting, this is just me thinking, but if Ripple controls the high-end money with the XRP, right? That's the intention. Ripple's intention is not retail. Now, this is where I see the Ripple Labs US dollar coming in. And you know what I believe? That now it's just a belief. I can be completely off. It's my opinion. Now it's my opinion. I see Ripple trying to buy Circle so they can, because Circle is like everybody knows Tether's a fucking joke. So Tether's going to go bye-bye. They've got to create a whole new stable coin, which they're doing now to start over. So that old Tether shit is done. It can't pass any inspection. So Tether's got to come up with a new one. But here's the thing. You've already got Circle. Circle's already regulated by MiCA and all these. It's good to go almost everywhere. It's legitimate. It's got government approvals and stuff. That's Circle. What if Ripple bought it to shut it down? Because once you control Circle, they've got patents. So you can't copy Circle. You got to come up with some way of doing it. But Circle, all these years, has all this technology. What if Ripple comes in, buys Circle, shuts the project down? Well, that would kind of, in one way, shut Stellar down, because that's a big chunk of change for Stellar. But Ripple could come in, shut down Stellar, and use the Ripple Labs USD as a stablecoin to replace Circle. Oh, shit. Well, we all know Circle runs on Stellar. So that'll be like a major hit for business with Stellar. So Stellar's got to find something else And that's why Stellar's working with Franklin Templeton. Circle's working with the New York Stock Exchange. Oh, wait a second, Crypto Hulk. So see where we're going here? Ripple buys Circle, shuts that project down for everybody like you and me for stablecoin using Circle. Now that's over. You replace that with Ripple Labs USD. Now the stock market comes in, but see, remember how I was saying Stellar's going to have to find a new place to go? Well, it's not going to work out in the stock market, the New York Stock Exchange. See, the New York Stock Exchange made a deal with Circle to use its technology. Oh. So Ripple could potentially take control of Circle, kick Stellar out of the small to mid-sized business money movement, but Circle wouldn't have that relationship with the New York Stock Exchange. That would be Ripple. And guess what? Ripple's not going to be running Circle on Stellar, their competitor. So then they shut out Stellar from the New York Stock Exchange, and they in turn use Ripple Labs USD. Oh, man, this is not looking good for Stellar, is it? I don't know. It's just my belief. That's one way it could happen. But that's enough for now. My name's Crypto Hulk. Wait, Stephen Morris. Stablecoins by Treasury bond debt. These are just some things to think about. I don't know. It's just something that ran across my thinking of Ripple. Like, what's Ripple trying to do? But that's what I believe is probably going to happen. Kind of makes sense. But anyhow, I'll see you in my next show. I won't be making the show this evening. I have to go to Sacramento. But I'll be home later tonight to put a show together for tomorrow morning. We got Stephen Morris. Thank you very much for that donation. I think if Circle is bought, it all stays the same, just under Ripple. Could be, maybe. I mean, I have no idea. I just put that out there. It's something that's very kind of fun to think about. And I'll probably see you tomorrow morning.